All right. I am here today with Lad Shuford from Ashton Woods. He is at the Cane Bay community up there. Lad, why don't you do us a favor? Welcome. Thank you for joining us today, by the way. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Ashton Woods as a company?
Of course. So, first of all, thank you for the opportunity and welcome to Woodwinds by Ashton Woods, which is our community in the Cane Bay community.
Okay.
We started here last May. Ashton Woods is a private builder. We've been around for about 30 years and are actually celebrating our 30-year anniversary this year.
That's awesome.
Thank you. It is. It's a pleasure to work for such a trailblazing company. And we do consider ourselves just that. We have a world-class design studio on Daniel Island where we sort of hang our hat on the ability to personalize a home. So if you're buying a house here in the price point of, say, $250,000 to $400,000, or if you're buying something on Daniel Island, I don't know, $1.5 million, everyone's going to get that same studio experience, which we think is just uber important so that you can make the house feel and look like you want it to, and it reflects your personality and style.
Right. That's awesome. And the company's based out of Atlanta, right? But you build across the country?
That is correct. We are based in Atlanta, and we're in Arizona. We're in Texas and Florida, and then Georgia and here.
Okay. Awesome. And why don't you tell us a little bit about Woodwinds at Cane Bay? How long has that neighborhood been going on? How many phases? What are we looking at?
Sure. So Woodwinds is the very first piece of land in the Wildcat Tract, which is parallel, or at the very back, I should say, of the original Cane Bay Tract. So within Woodwinds, we will have 326 homes when we're all built out. We're currently in phase 1, which is 99 homes. And we started in here developing a little over a year and a half ago. But then we brought in myself and Lacey, who is my work partner. We started coming out here on site in May and actually started selling stuff shortly thereafter. And you can see on the community map that's displayed there, all of the red blocks are what has been sold so far.
Okay.
The purple block up in the top right-hand corner is our model home, which is our Charleston floor plan. And then to the right of that is where the amenity center is currently under construction. And that will be ready hopefully by the end of the year. And then all the yellow blocks are our quick move-in homes that we have available. And
awesome.
I believe you have a list of those.
I do. Yeah. Let me just pull up the amenity center. But just a quick question, Lad. Is this phase 1?
Yes, sir, it is.
This whole thing is phase 1 right here.
That's correct.
Okay. So let me just show it. Let's see real quick. This is the amenity center that is proposed.
I do not believe there'll be quite as much foliage in the actual delivered product.
There we go. That's a nice looking pool, though.
Yes, it is supposed to be one of the largest pools in here for the size community we are. So the other thing that I think is important to note is that all of the move-in ready homes, we sort of saw the writing on the wall with regards to this pandemic, and we had Matterport 3D tours done of every floor plan and almost every move-in ready home.
Yes, and we can go through that momentarily. I have all those tabs pulled up as well of each of those, so that's an awesome thing to have. Great. So why don't you tell us a little bit about these models? So right now, the first one on the list is the Adams. It's 2,269 square feet.
It is. And so I really have enjoyed selling this plan simply because there's a room downstairs that is a flex room that can also be a 4th bedroom. And I actually just found out that lot 37 has that 4th bedroom in it as well. And it is on a pond lot. So it's a really nice looking house. The nice thing about the Adams is while you have that flex room downstairs, then you have a really nice looking living and dining room area with a beautiful kitchen. Almost every Adams that we've built has a covered porch on the back. And then there are several of them that have a 3rd car garage, which is
okay.
Nice.
Now that one, unfortunately, I did not see the Matterport tour for. So I mentioned we mentioned the Matterport tours, but that one in particular I don't have. So the base price or the lowest price that you have there on the list is $284,900, and it goes up to, it looks like $311,900. So is that your typical range for that unit?
Yes, sir. The least expensive one we've ever sold is the one at the top of $297,900. And it just didn't have quite the level of finishes that the other ones that we have available now did.
Right. And for those of you who are watching this and don't know, that is one of the best things about Ashton Woods is their level of finishes, even at their base level, is pretty spectacular. And you'll see that in a minute when we go through some of these 3D tours. So the next one then is the Lincoln. That's 2,314 square feet.
Right. So the Lincoln is a little bit larger than the Adams, and it lays out such that when you walk in, you go into a foyer, you have the option for a dining room or a study to your left or right, depending on how the house is oriented. And then when you walk in down the hallway, it's one big continuous space left to right.
And then powder room.
Powder room.
And then there's a upstairs there as well?
Yes, sir. So all the bedrooms in this house are up.
Okay, all the bedrooms are up.
Yes. This was our model home in West Ashley when we had that community up and running. It was called Rhodes Crossing. Okay.
And then this would be probably the garage over here?
Yes, sir.
Great. A drop zone, that's nice. Ship lab?
We do a drop zone. One of the things that I'm really proud of with Ashton Woods is when you walk through our models and you see any of the finishes there, they're actually things that we actually can do. They're not just there for...
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good point.
So the master bedroom in this house is really wonderful. It has a freestanding tub in the master bath, and the bedroom sizes are pretty spacious as well. And laundry is always going to be on the same floor as the master bedroom.
Very nice. Look at this master bath.
Yeah, that tile is pretty slick. We actually have a similar tile in the foyer of the model home I'm sitting in right now.
Now, when I'm looking at this, I know this is the model, and so it's obviously decked out. But I mean, these options, how expensive? How much is this top level for all of your options in here?
You can safely assume that any of our model homes, every single item in there has been upgraded.
Okay.
And while so we've got Lincolns in here that are very nicely appointed, starting at $295. I actually have two of those. And then our nicest Lincoln is the one that's on the pond for $314. So still very affordable.
Definitely. Yeah, that's amazing. And I just want to show these guest bedrooms. There's your laundry room on the second floor. Yeah, these are good sized bedrooms. I mean, you guys put out a very nice product.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. So the next one on your list is the Monroe. That's 2,449 square feet.
So the Monroe is my favorite next to the Harrison, which is the model that I'm sitting in. But the Monroe has this breathtaking 19-foot ceiling space. This is when you first walk in the door, again, that dining room or study.
Yeah.
This is the model at Riverview Crossing. And
wow, look at that.
Where the 19-foot ceilings are just truly stunning. I have three of those homes here that are available now, and they range in price from $317 to $327. So that 19-foot ceiling space just gives you a really nice, airy feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
That you're in there right now. We don't typically put anything in there, but certainly you could put either bookshelves or some kind of cabinetry in there at the end.
I like that little coffee nook, though. Could they do that if they wanted?
Absolutely. We consider that a wet bar. So if you're building that with us, it's
that's okay. And you got the little loft here too.
Top of the stairs there.
Yeah, that's nice. That's awesome.
That could be converted into a fourth bedroom, though, Brian.
Okay.
So, the Monroe has the possibility of going up to 4 bedrooms and 2.5 baths.
I see.
So
and
the bedroom is to the right.
Does the base price change when you go up to a 4-bedroom?
Base price doesn't. It's the option for that specific space is typically around $1,800.
Okay. Now you said earlier that everything you see in these models is basically available. You can provide. So this trim work on the walls, that's something that you actually provide?
Absolutely.
Wow, that's beautiful.
The level of trim that we offer is truly spectacular. In the model that I'm sitting in now, we have a brand new kind of crown molding called the two-piece. And basically it's just a 1x6 and a 1x4, and they meet in the corner. It's a very clean look. The master closet there is huge.
That looks like something that actually a couple could share. It's not usually this is my closet, and
that's true.
Yeah, so that looks like a shareable closet. You don't see that too often.
Right.
All right.
I love all the black accents. The thing that I find most interesting and refreshing here is that a credentialed interior designer truly does design each and every one of our move-in ready homes. So they all have a different look and feel, even though you're looking at the same floor plans. The Monroe, for instance, the one that sits on lot 12 has granite that's actually leathered. I'm not sure if you've ever seen that before, but it's a finish on the granite, so it's not polished and it feels like leather.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome. That sounds really cool. Let's see. What was I think I skipped a couple, but the Harrison you don't have available at the moment.
I don't have a Harrison sitting on the ground available. Because it is our model, has been our most popular plan.
Okay.
But what I'd like folks to know is that Monroe is the smaller version of the Harrison. The only difference is the Harrison has the master bedroom down, whereas the Monroe, all the bedrooms are up.
Okay. Got it. A lot of people like that master bedroom down feature, so that's good.
Yeah, we offer two ranch style homes, which you're looking at right now. The Pierce is at the top.
Okay.
And the Truman is at the bottom. So
let's see. So basically started at the front door here. There's two bedrooms to my left. This is the Pierce, by the way.
Yes. The Truman, actually, when you walk in the door, the same layout applies. Those two bedrooms and bath are there.
So now, would you say this is this looks more like what a base model would look like?
That is a typical, what we would consider a spec or a move-in ready home. But look at the light fixture up there, Brian. We're still going to deck it out a little bit. It'll never just be a basic house.
Yeah. But I just want to point out, I mean, even as a basic level home, these are really nicely finished. It's a nicely finished product.
Yes, sir.
That's my point. Yeah.
So the Pierce has a couple of options. If you pan back to your right there, you'll see where those three windows right there into the home. We offer the Pierce with an extended living area. So that wall basically pushes flush with the back wall.
I see.
A little more room inside the house.
And is that like a sunroom kind of thing?
It actually just becomes interior living space.
Okay.
Where the house naturally comes with a covered porch on the backside.
Got it. So now we're in the master.
And then inside the master bath, there are actually two closets in there. So, Brian, you don't have to share.
That's if I get one.
We do upgrade all of our move-in ready homes with a tiled shower rather than the fiberglass unit.
So remind me again, this is the Pierce. What was the price point on this?
So I've got Pierces that start as low as $250 or $256.9. My favorite Pierce is the one that sits on the water. It's on lot 33. We have staged that home, and I'm pretty sure that there's a Matterport tour of that. If not, I know that there are professional pictures there of that lot. It has a very pretty black painted island in it with some nautical looking lighting.
Okay. And then the other one that you mentioned was the Truman, right? This is
right.
Yeah.
The Truman,
my favorite one when I was looking at these earlier.
That is our current model at the new my friend Jessica sits in that model, which is on Johns Island.
Yes. This is the one we were talking about before the call. This is a beautiful home.
So that house has 4 bedrooms, whereas the Pierce can only have 3. However, there is an option to turn the bedroom that you're in right now into a master closet.
Okay.
Turns the master. It gives you a sitting room in the master as well.
And this is a bedroom, or this is the dining room?
The dining room and or study option.
And or study option. Okay.
And then laundry is right there to your right.
This is the model. This fireplace was just amazing. Yeah.
Yes. I love how we did the wraparound mantle, which is certainly something we can do for anyone.
Yeah.
We also put cabinets on the front of the island to give you more storage.
Yeah, this kitchen was gorgeous. I was in this with the client. That was the chef actually that I was talking about.
Oh, very cool.
And she just loved this house. She was if everything had worked out, she was going to buy this model actually. Because it's stunning when you walk through it.
It is a beautiful house. So the Trumans that I have here, I have the 4-bedroom version like you're in now, and I also have one of the 3-bedroom versions, and both of them are priced at $289,900.
Wow, $289,900. That's amazing.
Yes, sir.
Now let's be honest. So to get into
one that I have, actually, if you want a ceiling as well.
If you wanted to buy, something that was finished to this level, I know I get it starts at $289,900, but what would you?
That's our move-in ready home. So it's probably already got about $30,000 worth of upgrades in it. The base price in a Truman is only $268,900.
Okay. Yeah, this is a gorgeous home. All right. Oh, there's the closet. Sorry. Make sure we get that.
Yes, there's a large closet there, even without converting into the master sitting.
Great. So what else do we need to know about Ashton Woods?
Well, I think the most important thing to know.
Or Cane Bay.
Well, two things about, let's go back to the Ashton Woods first. I think the most important thing to note is that we truly are about quality versus quantity. We're not a national builder that puts out X number of units in a given year. It really does take us about 7 months from contract to keys. And as a matter of fact, I walked 3 houses. So the process here is when the builders finish a house, they release it to the sales department, and it's our responsibility to take the ownership of, if I were the purchaser of that home, I'm walking it to make sure that all of the little blemishes and or things that get picked up right before the new home orientation.
So sort of like a pre-closing punch list.
Correct.
Right.
And so I did 3 of those today, and the most egregious thing I found was there was a little piece of trim missing at the fireplace, between the fireplace and the shoe mold.
Wow.
But, I mean, that was literally the worst thing I could find. So we are truly blessed to have 2 builders, Chris Allen and Chris Comey, in here. And it's always my pleasure to walk those homes with clients because they just can't get over the fact that they can't find anything else wrong.
Right.
And what was really funny is we just had a new home inspection for a third-party inspector when purchased one of our homes, and that list was about this big.
That's awesome. Yeah, they always have to find something, right? So
right. And then the other thing I'd say though is Cane Bay has been an award-winning master plan community for many years running. And now with this new Wildcat track in the back of Cane Bay, presently there's only one way in and out, but we've got 3 exits that are currently under construction. So if you go back to that community map for a moment.
Oh, sorry, hold on. There you go.
No worries. Okay, so if you look behind Fairwinds Boulevard at the very top of the map.
Up here, yep.
We just built that from the Wildcat Circle down to the next roundabout.
Okay.
And that will eventually go back out to 176, where the Rustic Muffin and the Carolina One Realty office is. And then if you cross over 176, you'll be right on Nexton Parkway, which will take you directly to 26.
Take you right to 26. Yeah, that's pretty convenient.
So that should be available next year around this time. However, if we go back to the Wildcat Circle where you enter to get to me today, and you carry forward all the way across that roundabout, that'll take you out to what is getting ready to get punched through onto Black Tom Road. And then from Black Tom, you're about 2 minutes away from Highway 17, sort of on the Goose Creek side or Monk's
Goose Creek side. Right. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, that's going to be super convenient then. Having 3 exits, that's amazing.
Yep. And then at the very first intersection, or roundabout, I should say, when you first come into Cane Bay right now, to the left, they're creating another exit out to that same intersection of 176 and Nexton Parkway. So 4 ways in and out in the very near future. The one that I just spoke of is supposed to be available in June.
That's awesome. So I have to ask you, I mean, just given the times, are you seeing activity still? What's going on in the neighborhood?
I actually just sold a home to some folks from Alabama who are in the military day before yesterday.
Okay.
The realtor was super proactive about doing videos of homes.
Right.
In our case, we already had them up. So he just did some fine tuning and walked a house that we didn't have that specific home and in a Matterport tour. But that's the home they ended up buying. And it was funny. I'm 56, so my technological skills are not the best. But I do have a friend of mine, Jess, who works for us as well. I sent her a picture of the family in front of the house where they live now, and then I sent a picture of the house they just bought, and Jess photoshopped them into the new house.
That's awesome.
So they could post it on Facebook and feel excited about where they're coming to.
Well, since you mentioned it, I just want to point out, if you're a buyer that's watching this and you're interested, maybe you're in another part of the country and you can't get here. I mean, the Brian Houck Group, we are technologically savvy, even though I am also 51 years old. But I am more than happy to go and do virtual tours for you, and I can walk you through these Matterport tours personally as well. So just reach out to us, and we'll be happy to customize a virtual tour for you and get you all the information that you need so that you can make decisions, even though you can't be here right now. So that's great.
Helping out with virtual closings. So we can either do a mail away closing, or the client can sign a power of attorney, and our closing attorney is Buse Byers and Taylor. And they're super helpful with making sure that everything gets closed and recorded properly, even though the folks are not here. Because there's some states where people just simply can't leave, like Michigan, for instance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're seeing that a lot. So that's awesome. I'm glad everything's still moving, and thank you for joining us. This has been great. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did, Brian. Thanks so much for the opportunity. And listen, let's do a deal together.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hopefully we'll get a lot of calls from this.
Sounds great. Take care.
All right. Thanks, lad. I appreciate it.